How's it going, guys? Here with JNC Collectibles. Who do we have here, and what'd you do this weekend?
Adrian, Gonzalez, I won a map.
Yeah.
Got top 16 at the Las Vegas Preview 3. Unfortunately, lost the top 16.
Yeah.
You guys still did a great job this weekend, so let's go hang into the profile.
Okay, it's pretty standard. So
Yeah, it was like a pretty similar deck. It was
3, 2, 1, 2. We both played Pier, by the way.
Yeah.
Pier is better. No joke. And then 3 Witch, 3 Wanted. And then I think this is probably like one of the changes is like I played 1 original and he plays 2. You want to explain that?
So yeah, what was the
so I just
two?
found like the second one was like really good for like follow-up, because like you end on a Flamberg in your spell trap zone a lot, and this is like a secondary like strong push just by sending a Flamberg, so you can like threaten stuff with like the Ash into like Populous turn 2, and then like after that like goes through and like goes through like whatever they did set up, you just soul charge.
Okay.
Yeah, it did not come up for me, I'll be honest. And then for the other ones, we played 1 Soul Zone Jet. Jet's needed because you need end on the gates. Like that's like the big edge that this deck has. I think is that it ends on the gates, and the Fire King deck like doesn't.
Yeah, I like tested like without Jet for a while. Honestly, it's just like I didn't know the lines, but I was like, because you can like soul charge with like this card on a crackback, I was like, surely this deck has to be a link deck. So I just like cut this really early on. But then you just run into the issue where you just get blasted by like blowout cards. Like it's actually so tough.
Like I negated like a lot of tactics pretty much. Like getting to negate tactics is really good, I think.
It also fixes hands where you open like a bunch of engine. Because if all you do is play Link Monsters, your inboard doesn't get any better unless they hand trap you, because then they're hand looping themselves. So you need something that like actually extends your plays to like when they don't interrupt you. So otherwise, you're just ending on like 3 interruptions with 5 cards.
But like Souls is weird. Like I actually never switched it up dark. Like it didn't even come up. But like it's just like a really good like random one of, right? And like it's not it's like a it's once per turn, you know?
Yeah. I wouldn't play more. I like tried more for a bit. I tried 2. It was like fine. I would definitely never play 3, but like the 1 is like really good. Again, it's like pot of greed.
And then more same cards, 3 bonfires. Hand traps, 3. And we both played 2 each of these, right?
So between Droll and Valor, how'd they perform for you?
I drew Droll at least twice. One of the times it was really good. The other time it just got crossed on into Talents, which is top 16. So the thing why I don't like 3 of this is that these like target negation cards have like a very deep like fall off past turn 1, or because like your opponent gets Link Revo in rotation. So like I'm gonna summon Ash, make Link Revo, because like although sometimes they should leave it on board, there's other times where like you kind of have to like accept the fact that if your opponent's able to play through like the hand traps you do have, you're gonna lose anyway. So you just make the Link Revo to try to beat any follow-up target negation next turn. So yeah, it's just like these like fall off pretty hard. I guess like you could hit like the Charmers, but like they usually blow through the Charmers early. This card was like,
it was okay. Like when we play against Fire King, it's really good, and it's just bad into everything else though. But I played against like mostly Fire King, so it was like fine. But
yeah, it's like really only the fire decks can play this. Like it's like good enough, right? Because the thing is like you make them make like half board, and then this is a spellcaster, so it turns on Selene, and that's like pretty big.
They're fine. I think 13's like a good amount. I like did the math, and like you're like supposed to draw 2 like.
I like tried out a lot of ratios. It was like 3 of this, 1 Valor, cut something for like I played 2, so got one of the hand traps for like a 3rd tactics. I tried that, it didn't work out. So like I just like stick with this.
I think tactics is like the god card, by the way. Like it's like a win condition basically. Like the card is so OP. You go first, you look at your opponent's hand. It's basically unlosable. You go second, you take their card. Like taking the Fire King board cards like Arvadas and stuff, like it turns off Princess, and then that turns off Uranix, right? And then they like lose like 4 interruptions and like 20 bodies. So
I just found that they like actively like try think of this card, like the Fire King deck can actually beat this card like pretty easily. whereas the pure deck can't really do it without the synchros.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I was like not too convinced on like playing the third.
Okay.
One thing that took me a while to convince the other two teammates was this card's broken.
You know, this card is actually God card. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I think what makes it really, really OP is that like you can, if you normal summon Ash and it gets like Imperm or Veiler, you can like combo with like just this. You like go pop and then Adorational and then.
yeah. So like, it's also really good because like against Fire King, sometimes they might like mess up their interactions to where they need Princess to resolve to like pop their cards to trigger their runics. So this just taking the Princess is like really good. Like you might think like, oh, what are you gonna do with the Princess on your board? You just spell Trap Zone it with your Flame Bird, and then you kill your opponent.
And so you both played. Oh yeah, you played Crossover.
That
I mean, this card's just being pure. Like I don't know if it should be in Fire King honestly, because like you don't have.
This card was easy to justify in like the main deck because so it acts like a board breaker like a lot of the times, but that's only if your like extra deck is built to like supplement it. Because the thing is, you can't like call by Princess. You can call by your Runics, but like in the mirror, like you can't call by Princess because then you can't kill them or
you
can't kill them as easily.
That's why
like
access code.
yeah, well that's why.
Yeah.
So like we played access code and like Anceline, so there was like multiple routes to like kill your opponent. So being able to like have this in the main deck to like help our going first and going second, I thought was really good. I just say that because I see a lot of people cite it. And 41st card for me was one cross-up. So like this was like 1-for-1. Like every time I do it, I just wished it was cross-up. Not only that, it would also help out like side patterns a lot. And also save us a lot.
Sides are like slightly different because of it, but I think it's just
very slightly different.
I think the card is just so troll to like randomly main one of it. You know, it's like hella random, so I just didn't do it.
Fair.
Yeah,
so it's 40 and 41?
Yeah, 40 and 40.
So why no 1-for-1 though?
Because you have to discard it.
You discard hand traps. Like I actually don't like it.
And like you can't even summon like a Ponix off it, right? So it felt.
Yeah, and like Fire King is like really good because like Ponix is like crazy value.
You want to do that slide deck?
And does that you summon Jet?
I think our
So
slide
like you
decks-
discard a hand trap to summon Jet, which sets up in the gate. It's like the 1-for-1 could just be like anything else. And again, like if you're using that to extend, like isn't this just better? If you're playing both, then that's different, right? But like instead of 1-for-1, I'd rather just play that. And I guess we did already get side deck. Let's do it.
we did. This is the same.
These cards were really good.
This card is so broken.
Yeah, this
still,
card's
It just adds a dragon, you know? And Flamberg's a dragon. So
Yeah,
that
Flamberg is
came
a
up
dragon
with-
randomly. Really? You search Flamberg? That's crazy.
Yeah, I had it back from Graven.
And, yeah, so this is just the ritual deck. I like dark decks, I guess. I don't know. Branded. We were like pretty scared of Brandon. We never wanted to play versus that deck, but we were like kind of ready for it. Yeah. These were good. So the change is he played Duster and 2 Lightning Storm. I played 1 and 1. And that's because he doesn't play this other card, which was Twin Twister.
Okay. So why Twin Twister?
So these cards were really like kind of like a meta card, right? Because like everyone's doing the same combo the same way, and nobody's ending on Sanctuary. And like when I told both of them, I was like, okay, like you might not believe me on this card, but literally go through every game you've ever played. Think about how many times if this was in your hand, you just win. Because it outs Anti-Spell and the Island instead of just Cosmic, which only outs one or the other.
Yeah, I didn't believe it.
So the thing is that with side patterns, there was only room for like 2 of them each. So against like players that I didn't know, I felt like they would be on any spell. So I would side in this, and against good players, I would actually opt to side in these instead. Because this would like out the strikes and like the crossouts and all that, and the imperms. And obviously the island, and then the island would pop the oppo.
Yeah, I think this card's better because like this one is like it takes 2 cards that it can pop 2 back row. This one takes 1 card and it can pop 5 back rows, you know? So it's like cost effective. Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't beat any spell. That was like the whole thing. But I told them that it was fine for him to play it because like a card like this only really works if they don't know you're playing. So the thing is that me and my brother played them, but I was like okay with him not playing it and playing this instead, because then he could have like up to 3, right, close sided and like top cut when they're not playing any spell. So yeah.
What was the idea? Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was
for
okay
cross-ups?
with. Yeah. So since I main the third cross up, it's just 2. He just sided all 3.
This card is actually so cringy, by the way. Like, it negates anything. Like, how is that even okay, dude? It actually negates anything in the game. Except, like, can it negate Exodia?
No.
Okay. But, like, it can negate everything else, you know? That, or, like, extend, like, extra monsters, but, like, they can't get to them, you know? So...
It's like about time this card became degenerate. Like,
Yeah. So, like, maybe...
when this card was released, I was always scared of, like, something like this happening. And, like, this card, it really is just, like, really dumb. Mained it? No. So like the reason I didn't want to main it is because I think the advantage this deck has over the Fire King deck is you're able to play more non-engine. Like I think if you really tried to, you could fit 15 in the Fire King, and this deck fits 18. If you commit 3 of those for this, that's just like I don't think that makes too much sense as to like why you'd play this deck instead of the Fire King deck, because like just want the more like stops, right? Like you're playing this deck to like stop your opponent. And the Fire King deck you play it because it has the power behind it. So like I get it being main because a lot of times, especially game 1s, it comes down to like you stop your opponent, so their engine is bad, and then you have like your engine cards, and then crossout makes it so that it's just like engine v engine because you could just negate their non-engine and stuff. So like it's not like terrible in the main deck. It's just like I lose a lot of die rolls, so I just want all the hand traps and board breakers and stuff.
I never searched it ever.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, this card was crazy.
Ever, actually. I slightly did it a lot. I never drew it. I never searched it. It was like, yeah.
I mean, this is like a really good deck. I think this is like really strong. The main thing is like your opponent probably like never expects it. Like I was playing versus Kamal, and I like Monster Reborn his princess. I went normal summon Ash effect, and he had Oppo and SP. He chose to SP thinking that I'm gonna search Populous and just negate it with Bow. But then I searched this and I just broke his board.
It's like hard to play around too. Like I remember thinking like, how do you even play around it? Like do I just not like get around with them? And
Yeah, it's actually so hard to play around it.
It's like hard to say what good.
The most important thing was it was a searchable target off Vita.
Yeah.
Like that was like pretty good. So like the Fire King deck already has something that's good to search off Vita. Like they're always like outing the Vita too. Whether it's SP or like Princess.
I played the third one. I had space. I mean, we played mind control cards.
Yeah, so we played take cards.
Dude, these were so good, by the way. This is probably the best card in the side deck, I think. Like
Yeah, so like 3 days ago, I like had 2 different side decks. One of them had like it was this what we're playing basically, and the other one was like with like deltas and gammas. So like it was like a very small like sample size, but every time I drew like delta or gamma or like driver, had it just been one of these cards, I immediately win the game. And the thing is like one of the times it happened where like I like souls drew 2 and then wanted drew, and I had like delta gamma driver in my hands. Like bro, if it was just these, I win.
Yeah, I usually kept opening 2, so maybe I should have.
Yeah, I
played
kept
3.
opening 2, which
Like
was
the
crazy.
card is so OP. Like it's like the take Arvada thing, and then they're like, wow, like I have no negation.
One of my opponents, we both break, so when I passed turn to him, he started applying pressure, which allowed me to play because he now had a monster. So he attacked for 24 with a Kirin. I went normal summon Ash, he lets it resolve, Populous, add something. Then he super polys me. I'm like, that's funny. I'm on the E drilled, so like I just take his Kirin, take his Garunix, then make Hita. Then he can't draw off the not Garunix, the Garura. And then like yeah, it was like really easy to push.
The only problem I had with these cards is like they're really like only for the Fire King matchup, and like I would have sided them into like Paulo because I know he plays no Jack, so like he doesn't have that negate. So this card is like way better against his deck. But even against his deck, like he IPs, right?
Yeah.
So like it was suspicious. But against Fire King, it's like actually God card, I think.
Yeah. So like this is another card that like really only works like if your opponent doesn't know you're already on it. Because then like they can try to like play around it and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was his last card.
It's so worthless, bro. Like it never came up.
this was worse than this, but like he had space for it because like his side patterns were like a little bit different because I had one extra card to take out. So, and even then, I still made like a small concession. Like, so this last card like could have been something else to like complete other side patterns, but I just took like a slightly worse matchup into those decks to like get like a better fire matchup. So I sided a second Hita.
Okay.
So like going second, they'll always like out your first Hita, and then like they'll just never like play around the second one. Or like if you get into like a weird grinded game where like you don't kill them, like I did with Kamon, like the second Hita should have won me the game. I just like messed up, and then like we drew on accident.
It's one of those things that's like it's really OP when they don't expect it. I feel like.
And nobody expected.
Yeah, nobody expected.
The thing
it.
is like,
yeah, they
the
were,
whole
like,
time they were like. So like when you play versus other good players, they try to like build your deck inside their head, right? So like they know what they can fit in their extra deck. So they're assuming it's the same thing as mine. So when I dropped the second one, they were already surprised. But then I dropped Access Code, which they would think is the cut for the second one, and then they were just even more surprised because they're like, how are you fitting all these cards? Because I said it.
How are you fitting all these cards? You'll find out right now.
You'll find out.
With the extra.
Yeah,
Oh, you're not working on it. Like, I'll just go there. Because the extras are the same, right?
Yeah, okay. Extras
Okay.
are the same, so it's
This. This card is really good. So I didn't know about this line, but you can summon Zelantis and this, and then you like pump this, and it triggers your Phoenix. Your other Phoenix, not this one, in the grave, and then that's like game. So this card is really good. And then Slain, I think this is needed.
This card's broken.
Yeah, this card was really, really good. Because it's like 53 and like it's really big, you know? It can hit over everything. Yeah, I was scared of Raid Raptor, like no troll. And then when he should be no Savage.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
So what's the reason for no Savage?
So it really only comes up when you open like Ash Switch and it doesn't get interrupted. The thing is, you can end on like a Baron line through Ash effect, through Nib, and through Droll. So like you can always get to these, right? Whereas Savage is like very specific, and even the line that you take to make that, there's like instead of Savage you can make an Apple for 2, but like that line didn't come up because the one time I drew that hand and went uninterrupted, I was playing versus Voiceless Voice, and they play super quality. So like to play around like Panzer Dragon, I guess. He said that was the target.
Oh, it's real. Okay, it's real.
We just make Baron and then like do everything else.
As
So
soon
like
as you get
skip
rid of
over
your witch,
Apple.
like the line is just dead forever. Like basically, like unless you like Slain it back, but that's like really not happening, right? That's like hella fake news, so like it would never happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, awesome job, guys. Any shout outs before we go?
Yeah. Shouts to Trading Tavern for sponsoring new cards. Thanks guys. And then shouts to Bill Way for finding me a team. And then shouts to my mom. Thanks, Mom.
Shout out to TGS, best sponsors. I love you guys. I'm sorry I couldn't win. It's tough.
Yeah. Thank you.
Shout out to you too. All right.
That was